I'm back. I know I've been gone for a while, been really busy. Got to film my first wedding, got to work on some other projects, trying to grow this business. I'm going by the name of CF Media, but on YouTube, we're gonna keep the same name. So sorry I've been gone for a little over a month, but here's a video for you to enjoy, right? Today, I wanna give you guys very quickly my thoughts on the new Sony ZVE2, or what the heck did they call it? ZVE10, all right, let's talk about it. So, I've got it pulled up right here on Amazon. I will have links in the description if you're looking to buy this camera or any other cameras that I use. I'm actually filming this video with the Sony A7C. I'm using the Sigma 2040-70. So that's my current YouTube setup, but if that is a little bit out of your price range, let's talk about some cheaper cameras, all right? So right here, I've got the new Sony ZVE10. It's kind of like, I guess, the big brother of the ZV1. Some of y'all, if you guys have been around for a while, you guys know that I did buy the ZV1. That was like my first camera that I used to record myself for YouTube, and I absolutely loved it. My only issue with the ZV1 was like, when obviously in like lower light situations, like not in like a studio like this where if it's not bright enough or whatever, if it's too dark, I could just light up the scene better. I'm talking about like in like live situations, or I started getting more into photography, and like I would notice that no matter what I did, like I just got a lot of grain in my pictures. So I decided I wanted to move up. I think personally, if the ZVE10 was an option when I was there, in that process, I probably would have gotten it, just because I was still learning how to use a camera and just kind of like getting very comfortable. And the ZVE10 probably would have been a little less intimidating, but I got the A6400. I used that camera for a very long time, up until I just recently, well, not that recently, but maybe like three and a half months ago, I got the A7 III, and now I have the A7C. So let's talk about why I think you could want, or you would want to buy the ZVE10, and why I think you probably shouldn't buy it, all right? So the number one reason why I think you would want to buy it or should buy it is like what I just said before. For its small form factor, it's not that big. It's not like carrying a big old A7 III or an A7C with this big old Sigma lens. It's a lot smaller, right? They're selling it here. I got it on Amazon with $7.99 with the kit lens. I would say if the kit lens is all you can afford, go for it. But if you can afford something a little bit better, you got more budget, then definitely without any hesitation, check out the Sigma 16 1.4, like without a doubt. Another reason why I think you would want to buy it is just because it's going to be simple enough to operate. It's just like using the ZV1. A third reason why I think you might want to buy it is just your price range, right? Like now having this camera, I definitely say that the A6100 is just obsolete. I don't see why you would buy that camera over this one, unless you really need a viewfinder. But because this ZVE10 does not have a viewfinder. But if you're not like worried about a viewfinder, if you're like me, I rarely use a viewfinder. Even when I'm taking pictures, I rarely use a viewfinder just because I'm very uncomfortable with my glasses. Then I say the ZVE10 would be the option to go with, just because it actually comes with all those picture profiles that all the other cameras have, except for the A6100. So that might be a reason to go ahead and get it. So it's got stabilization, 4K recording, just like the ZV1, small form factor, it's cheap. It's probably, I think right now it's Sony's cheapest APS-C camera. So I feel like, considering all that, it might be a pretty good buy, all right? So why wouldn't I get it, or why would I recommend the A6400 over this one? Because of that viewfinder. No, the viewfinder is not great, but it is there. You might want to use it in certain situations if you're more leaning towards photography over videography. Why you might not want to get the A6400, obviously because of the lack of IBIS, but the stabilization on the ZVE10 isn't like the best either. So if you got a good lens that has stabilization in it, then the a6400, in my opinion, is the way to go. There are plenty of accessories already available for that camera. It's in that similar price range. It is like a couple $100 more expensive, but I'm taking it from me. I used it for close to a year filming. I rigged it out because, like I said, there is a lot of accessories available for it. I rigged it out, took it to professional shoots, and people, they saw my camera because I had the camera, the body or the battery grip, the big old small rig cage on all around that, top handle, big old 18-105 lens. It looked pretty legit, right? Versus the ZVE10, obviously just because it's brand new, there's not gonna be a lot of accessories for it just yet. But if you're leaning more towards going into the professional route, I would highly recommend you get the a6400 over the ZVE10. But if you're just like a YouTuber, or you just live stream, you're just trying to up the quality of your live streams, or you just want a small camera, as small as it can be, but you do want that sensor size for better low light, then maybe the ZVE10 might be the way to go, right? Another negative that I saw with the ZVE10, and it's across the board with Sony's APS-C lineup, is that there is a lot of rolling shutter, right? The ZVE10, A6400, A6600, they share the same sensor. Horrible with rolling shutter. So that is something to consider, right? So who do I think this camera's for? I think the camera's for someone that doesn't have the budget to necessarily, obviously not to go full frame, or doesn't have the budget to maybe get the A6600. Maybe you're kind of debating between this one and the A6100. I'll just go ahead and say it. Don't get the A6100 because A6100 does not have picture profiles. Now, if you're debating between the ZVE10 and the A6400, personally, just because of my use case, just because I have plenty of experience with that camera, I would highly recommend the A6400. You might be able to get it in the same price range as the ZVE10 if you buy it used, just because it is an older camera, but it's great. It has autofocus, it has face detection in video. I know the ZVE10 has eye detection in video, but I mean, it's not like a big deal. The autofocus on both cameras is freaking amazing. It's not a big deal, right? A6400 has a viewfinder, so if you want to use the viewfinder to get better at photography, or just have that extra thing just in case you need it, then I think the A6400 is the way to go. Now, the ZVE10, who do I think should get it? Like I said a little while ago, just people that are maybe just YouTubers, or just live streaming, or just want a really small camera. Another advantage that the ZVE10 has over the A6400 is that this camera has a headphone jack. For the longest time, I thought that was going to be very important. I got the A7 III, got the A7C. I have not once plugged in headphones to the camera. Why? Because I record all my audio externally, all right? But that might be a feature that you think is important to you, right? So I think the ZVE10, it's a good buy. I think it's a great buy. Don't feel ashamed. Don't think any negativity just because that might be the only camera you can afford. I think it's a great buy, all right? But personally, I would just go with the A6400 for its more like professional use cases, all right? So let me know what you think in the comments. Are you gonna pick up the ZVE10? Do you still rock the A6400? Or, I mean, are you just perfectly fine with the ZV1? Let me know, all right? Thank you for watching. Sorry I was gone for such a long time. Just for those of you guys that have made it to the end of this video, I do want to do a quick giveaway. Let me go get it. I'll be right back. So as y'all can see, I do all my audio recording right now with the Rode Wireless Go. When I'm out in the field doing professional stuff like weddings, I have a double setup, a dual setup, and I bought this cable. Maybe you can see it, maybe it's a little too overexposed, but it is the SC11 splitter cable, brand new in the box. I've not opened the box. I bought it, turned out I didn't really need it, and if I was gonna return it, they were gonna charge me for shipping, so I was like, I might as well just keep it, all right? If you need this cable, if you want this cable, the SC11 splitter cable, I had a very hard time finding it on Amazon, but I bought one elsewhere and I couldn't return it. So if this is something you need, something you want, go ahead, drop me a comment in the comment section, and that's all you gotta do to enter. Obviously, be subscribed to the channel, and just leave me a comment in the comment section telling me that you want this cable, and I'll choose a winner in next week's video. All right, thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. All right, peace.